let's talk about washing the car. A lot of the common scratches and swirl marks that come from washing the car from how we wash and what we wash it with. So we're going to first talk about the products that we're using to wash the car. When we hand wash cars, this is what we use. This is wool, but what people don't understand about the wool is a fiber, and it's a fiber that catches and retains dirt and heavy particles. These particles are what causes a lot of the swirls and scratchings that you see in your car. This is why we've gone to the Glossifoam wash mitt, because the Glossifoam wash mitt is a very tight pore foam that does not absorb the dirt and grit like a wool mitt does here. As you can see, this is going to damage your paint, and this is not. Now on the flip side of this, we created a much coarser foam, and this coarse foam was developed so that we could flip the pad and all our lower rocker panels could be washed without scratching the top surfaces, because we don't want to pull the grip from the bottom of the car, of the rocker panels, to the top and then cause further scratching. So it's all about prevention. If you notice, we have 2 screens and 2 buckets. The grit guard was designed, as you can see, it has perforation in here, and we like that perforation because when we stick our wash mitt back into the bucket, we can clean the surface to make sure we pull any dirt that might be trapped in the white foam. This retains at the bottom of the bucket. It fits in a 5-gallon standard wash bucket, or you could purchase one of the Glossip buckets. A lot of people say, why would you need 2 buckets? Well, the first bucket is going to be a water bucket only. The second bucket is going to be our soap bucket. So basically, we're going to wash panel by panel or section by section on the car, and we're going to use 2 different wash mitts for different areas of the car. This is going to be our water bucket, and this is going to be our soap bucket. Now, the Gloss shampoo is a non-detergent car soap. Also, it was developed with a chemical that helps neutralize the pH or acidity of the water. A lot of water, depending on the country you live in, has a high content of sulfur, alkaline, okay, or calcium, and these can be very damaging to your paint. So basically, this is a great product to kind of neutralize your soap in your bucket so it's not leaving a film on the car. We also put our synthetic polymer inside the car soap, so it gives a gloss or a wax look to the paint and the shampoo. Now, a lot of guys ask, well, how much product do I actually want to put in the bucket? And that's a great question. I'm going to pour about a capful, as you can see here, and this is highly concentrated. When I stick my finger in here, it's almost like molasses. It's this thick viscosity, as you can see here. And we did that, we made the soap highly concentrated, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dump 1 capful per 5 gallons to make my soap. So we're done with this. Now, what I need to do is go ahead and fill this bucket with just plain water. And this bucket I'm going to suds up for washing the car. I've got 2 wash mitts on there. I'm going to use 1 wash mitt for my lower rocker panels and my lower wheel lips. And I'm going to use my other wash mitt for my top surfaces. This way I don't cross-contaminate the grip from the bottom of the car to the top of the car. Now we've added our soap to the bucket. We're going to go ahead and fill it up. Get our suds going here. Okay, now we've got a full bucket. Both mitts have been soaked thoroughly. So now, let's talk about how we pre-rinse the car, okay? You always want to start at the top of the car and work your way down and you rinse it. And you want to spend about 3 to 4 minutes. If the car is really dirty, let's spend about 5 to 8 minutes, okay? Because what you don't want to do is rub that grit that's sitting on the surface of the car and actually start scratching the finish. So let's go ahead and start doing a rinse. Basically, a lot of question is, how do I wash my car and where do I start? Well, you always want to start from your top surfaces and work your way down, okay? So what we're going to do is take the Glossifoam wash mitt and we're going to start at the top of the vehicle. We're not going to do little circle motions. We're going to do a horizontal back and forth across. Now, as you can see, the Gloss shampoo is not a high sudsing soap, but it does effectively clean and remove all the dirt and contamination. We found that when we developed the Gloss shampoo, by using a high sudsing soap, it leaves a film or residue on the finish. When we go to rinse this car, we want no film or residue. So now we're washing the top surfaces first in a back and forth motion, overlapping. And as you can see, I've done a couple sections. So now what I want to do is I want to clean my mitt. I'm going to go into the clean water bucket before I go ahead and dip it into the soap bucket. Okay, now I can proceed to do the lower panels. I'm going to go back once more, dip it into the clean rinse bucket, go ahead and wring it out, And I'm also going to inspect it real quick to make sure that I don't have any dirt or debris caught inside the foam. And basically, I'm going to take here the yellow part, and I'm going to clean the very lower panels. This is where your heaviest grit is. If you look closely, this is why we use the yellow part of the foam, because this is where the heaviest grit is, and this is what we don't want to reapply to the paint. As you can see, we've got a heavy layer of tar and road grime, and the clean is the white side. So we're going to go ahead and dip it back into the rinse bucket, wring it out, clean that residual tar, make sure it's out of the sponge. I'm going to go ahead and dip it back in because I still have a little dirt. Back into the bucket. The white foam is from the top panels down. The yellow foam is for the inside of your wheel lips and your lower rocker panels. Okay, now we've got the car completely washed. We're going to go to the rinse. We're going to start at the top surfaces, working our way down. Now that we've completed the car wash process, we're ready to move on to the drying of the vehicle and using our gloss enhancer quick detailer.